Hey everyone, how you doing today? Hakobo here with another episode of Sound Design Lab, and today I'm bringing you a pretty simple foundation for a real cool foghorn bass, and this is what it sounds like. It's got some pretty simple wavetables going on with basic Ward and basic CJW. Next thing we're going to do is go ahead and knock the octave up to 3 on oscillator B, turn the level off, and let's go ahead and get some detune down to widen out the sound a bit. We're going to put this on 0.04 and put this one on 0.06. Random on or off doesn't really matter too much. Just go ahead and play with it if you want it, see how you like it. For LFO1, we're going to bring this over and knock this up to the bottom of the top box right here. Throw it on 2 bar and throw it on trigger because we're going to want an LFO to really stretch out some of the knobs. Next, we're going to go to LFO2, just throw it on trigger and leave it alone. And for LFO3, we're going to knock these up right here. And if you've been paying attention to my videos, you can probably tell what this knob's going to be for. We're going to throw that on 2 bars as well and throw it on trigger. Let's go ahead and get started on the FM from B, where we're going to go ahead and just throw this on 10 and trigger it over to 29. Then we're also going to do the same thing for the level all the way over, and that just gives us this cool start for the sound. Next thing we're going to do is go ahead and throw some sub in there as well. We're going to direct it out and throw the LFO1 on it to about 60. Next thing we're going to do is give the top end of it some wobble. We're going to leave it on MG low 12. We're going to go ahead and take LFO2 and throw it on the cutoff and bring it down to 50 going both directions. The next thing we're going to do is go ahead and bring down the mix down to 60 because I don't want the whole sound to be affected, just a little bit. And that's going to... Let's go ahead and get into our usual effects, which is just throwing on the hyperdimension, detune down on 20%, retrigger to unison. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to throw LFO2 on the mix down to 50 to get that fast wobble on the mix, but then the wobble is going to change slowly over time by putting the LFO1 on the detune and putting it just on 14 or 15. This knob's pretty sensitive, so that's just good enough. Next thing we're going to do is throw on an asymmetrical distortion with a high pass. Make sure you turn pre on. And normally I do it around 900, but today we're going to do it low on 165 on 0.7 and about, I'd say, 40% drive. And this is just to get some of the more mid to high frequencies distorted, which is going to sound pretty cool. But we're not done yet. We're going to clean it up a little bit with a standing phaser. Now you'll notice that I'm not going to be using a compressor, and the reason why is because I want to keep kind of the mellow sound and I don't want it to be bright, which is what typically happens when you throw a compressor on. Now all that's left to do is throw on a reverb filter, and what that's going to do is create this really cool effect. We're going to throw the cutoff on 54, which is what I found to be really cool. Resonance on 60% and the damp on 50%. And that's going to give us a cool drawn out mammoth-y sound. Now if we couple it with a reverb, you're going to get that cool distant sound. I really recommend throwing reverb on these sounds because it makes it really cool, and finish it off with an LFO3 being tied to the master tuning. And what that's going to do, and we're going to be super delicate and just throw it on maybe 3 or 4, is as the sound progresses, it kind of goes down at the very end and couples really well with the reverb filter. So yeah, that kind of wraps up the sound. Super straightforward, nothing too fancy going on. You can throw some white noise on, play with the wavetables, exaggerate the LFO, exaggerate the low pass, or maybe increase the wobble right here and create kind of a cool little faster feel to it. You can go ahead and mess with the reverb filter and see what you like, or just kind of change up the detune as well. If you learned something from this video, please feel free to like and subscribe, as it really helps me out. If you feel like leaving a comment or feedback, I read every single comment, so feel free to reach out to me. If you like this preset and would like to get over 60 more that I've made, consider following me on Patreon for just $3, as that helps me out quite a bit. I'd like to shout out the ones that do follow me on Patreon, and I appreciate every single one of you that come to this channel to watch and support me. Thank you so much. Have a great day.